Hey everybody, welcome to the official second episode of The Cold Cut. I'm your host, Natasha Lee. Each episode we discuss a new question revolving around the Amy Mihaljevic case. Today's question is, why are cold cases left untouched for so long, only to be reintroduced years later? Is it a breakthrough in DNA, a new detective with fresh eyes, or is it the pressure of families and communities who refuse to let the story end where the system did? In this episode, I'm laying the groundwork for what the cold cut is all about, digging into cases that were iced over and asking why justice paused, and what takes to restart it. Let's get into it. October 27, 1989, Amy left school and walked to a nearby shopping plaza. Her friends watched her meet a man described as well-dressed, maybe in his 30s, who put his arm around her and quietly led her away. That was the last time anyone has ever seen her alive. What no one knew then was that this man had called Amy at home a few days earlier. He somehow knew her mom and had gotten a promotion and told Amy he wanted to help her buy a gift to surprise her. Amy believed him. 4 months later, her body was found in a field about 50 miles away. She had been sexually assaulted and stabbed. Some of her belongings, like her school folder and backpack, were missing, possibly taken as trophies. The case made national headlines and hundreds of tips came in. The FBI joined, but no arrest was ever made.
How do you think cases like that, one with witnesses and national attention, just go cold?
That's a big question, and it's not about one single failure. It's about a system that wasn't equipped. In 1989, investigators didn't have cell records or DNA databases. They were working off memory, witness sketches, and tips. Eventually, the lead slowed down, other crimes became a top priority, and Amy's case joined a growing list of cold cases in America.
How many cold cases are we talking about?
There's currently over 250,000 unsolved murders in the U.S. That's an insane number. Most police departments don't have a dedicated cold case unit, and a national study by the National Institute of Justice found that only 1 in 5 of these cases are ever solved, even fewer lead to arrests or convictions. So it usually comes down to resources, and many of these cases lack strong evidence from the beginning. No suspect, no motive, and also limited funding within departments tend to focus on newer cases. So ones that are likely to result in quick resolutions.
What exactly gets a cold case reopened? What changes?
That's a great question. The two biggest factors are technology and people. DNA testing is constantly improving and advancing. And for example, some labs can now extract usable genetic material from evidence that was considered degraded 20 years ago. But the second reason is more human. Sometimes a new detective takes over, or sometimes a journalist shines a spotlight on the case that's been forgotten, or a tip comes in that breaks the silence.
Yeah, I imagine time has a huge impact on solvability of a case too, not just evidence.
Yeah, absolutely. In 2022, a study published in the Frontiers in Psychology looked at long-term unsolved cases and how they affect witnesses and families. It found that trauma changes memory. Witnesses may forget details over time, and their recollection might shift. And some are hesitant to speak again, given how sensitive the topics are. Others may have passed away. So even when physical evidence is still there, the human element is harder to recover. But there's the thing about cold cases. They never really die. They wait. And sometimes they come back. Not because of new witnesses, but because of new tools and, like I mentioned earlier, advancements in technology. In Amy's case, the hope now is DNA. So investigators believe that they're close to developing a profile, something that wasn't even possible 10 years ago. And then there's another factor, new detectives. A new detective is introduced to the case and takes over while a retired investigator reviews old files. A journalist asks a question that wasn't asked before.
Yeah, and for the families, they're stuck in that constant hope for answers and closure for years.
Yeah, Amy's family lived in that unfortunate loop for decades, and her father eventually, unfortunately, died in 2021 without ever knowing who took his daughter. But people haven't forgotten. Bay Village still talks about Amy to this day, and her case is one that lingers because it was personal and it still feels like it's solvable.
So what makes this case different from any others that just, fade?
Honestly, someone has to keep pushing. That's the commonality within cold cases that get reopened and eventually solved. Whether it's a family member, a journalist, or a determined detective, it takes someone refusing to let it stay silent. Amy Mihaljevic should be 45 today, but instead she's frozen in time forever. Forever's had. But her case is still open, still waiting. Thanks for listening to The Cold Cut. I'm Natasha.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Olivia.
Next episode, we close out our discussion about the Amy Mihaljevic case with the luring question: how do police investigations and the lack of evidence lead to a cold case? We hope you'll join us.